Hi, I'm Crane. In this video, I'm going to be highlighting and show you how I completed the field guide in the demo for Digimon Story Time Stranger. I'm not going to waste your time if you just want to know the key things. There are effectively only 7 Digimon you need to get with the baby forms, the in training 1 forms. When you have those 7 base forms, the first 7 entries on the tree, you're good to go. You can just digivolve from there and go wild. I'm just going to show you all of them and tell you exactly how you get the 7 base forms. Kuramon, you scan in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th area. It's everywhere, very easy to obtain, so that one's just through scanning. Choromon is gotten from a ToyAgumon with a friendly personality. Easiest way to get that one is to farm the stairs at the end of the demo before the second boss. Dodomon, you can get from either a Monodramon with reckless personality or a Wanyamon with a reckless personality. They're both found in the first farming area. Pabumon is acquired through a tolerant Motimon. Motimon is easily found in the 2nd and 3rd farming area when you're climbing the tower. Punimon you find through scans in the 1st area. Same with Botamon, you find them through scans in the 1st area. And finally, Poyomon, which is not able to be farmed in the game. You need to pick Gomamon or Patamon, and I would highly recommend picking Patamon because it comes with a preset personality of Enlightened, which is exactly what you need to de-digivolve him twice to Poyomon. So pick Patamon if you want to go for a full, complete field guide. Now, onto the video where I actually show you how all of this is done. I'm trying to fill out the entire field guide, basically this game's Pokédex. Since people have been asking me quite a lot under those 2 videos, how did you fully complete the field guide? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of stubborn and I'm kind of just... I enjoy a mindless grind while doing something else. I enjoy playing a video game while watching YouTube, like I assume a lot of people do. That's kind of how I did it. It's nothing huge, but I'm going to do a full playthrough of this demo where I did exactly what I did last time in completing the field guide. So if you're curious how to fill out the field guide, I'm literally about to show you how I did it. First of all, story mode. You might be like, what? Story mode? Wimp? And I'm like, yes. But also, time is a factor for these things. I am a wimp, but I'm also looking to be efficient on time.
Great.
We're not here for the story for this run, okay? There's a VOD where I play through the story. As a story guy, it kind of hurts me to skip story, but it is what it is. So first of all, we're just gonna beeline past everyone. The most important thing that's gonna happen in this playthrough is not picking Demi-Devimon when you pick your starter. Like, as a fan of Demi-Devimon, it kind of hurts to say that, but it's literally the only way to get the entire evolution line from like Patamon and Gomamon and all those guys that evolved from. Is it Poyomon? Is that the name of the earlier form? There's no way to get there without those 2 starters. So to complete the field guide, you need to pick one of them. Okay, so like I said, this is the most important choice you're gonna make. If you're planning on filling out the field guide, do not pick this dude. He's awesome. We love him, but you can get him later. It's fine. You can't get these 2 evolution lines in the demo unless you pick them. Just to quickly interject right here, now that I'm actually seeing the recording and reviewing all of this, apparently, from my testing in the demo, apparently the starters come with a preset personality type. Patamon comes with Enlightened, Gomamon with Reckless, and Demi-Devimon with Enlightened as well. So, if you want everything the fastest way possible, pick Patamon, because Patamon with Enlightened makes him able to de-digivolve to both previous states, like both previous forms, and you don't have to do any personality management whatsoever. You just get an Enlightened one and you're good to go. And that seems to be based on their main, like, base personalities, as you can see here in the game. It all lines up perfectly. We're gonna rewrite my history here and pick Patamon instead of Gomamon, like I did in my first playthrough. It's Patamon all the way. Let's go. Oh yeah. Xbox, go! I'm not gonna skip this one, it's too good. Okay, so first of all, right stick to increase speed to max, and then click the right stick for auto. Very important parts for the grind. Is there a way to turn off animations? Yeah. No. I guess we can't turn off animations then. But now that we're auto fighting and we have the speed turned up and we're just gonna spam A whenever a fight ends, we're just gonna blast through these. So since we're on story mode, we're basically just one-shotting most things before going into combat, which makes it even easier. Yeah, look at Omnimon. It is time. He did a lot of damage in story mode, goddamn. Use this. It is time. We did it. Okay, so when we're done talking, okay. Yeah, now we've unlocked scans. So this is a huge part of the field guide. You're gonna find most of your valuable Digimon through scans. I would recommend only doing 200% scans, personally, because they get a higher max level well, as far as I'm aware, they get a higher max level, which is usually the way to go. I would probably say get, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 rows of Digimon in this place. It's probably not that important which ones you get, because anytime you get 200%, just scan them and get them in your box. And then when you have 2 to 3 rows, you should probably be good to move on.
What happened?
We don't know Makoto from Persona 5. Still don't know if that is actually who that is, but it sounds like her.
Like a digi.
Oh. So, one of the biggest parts, we already have a 200%er. One of the biggest parts, in my opinion, to fill the guide is to do the lowest tier of Digimon first. Or basically focus on them first. Because they're the most difficult ones to unlock, in my opinion. Like this. Like 1 to 8, 1 to 7, something like that, are the hardest to unlock. Because when you de-digivolve to them, you have to have a matching personality for your Digimon. And in order to achieve that, there's this system right here, where if we use the mouse, you can see that Patamon has personality number 9. He is enlightened. However, if we want to de-digivolve him... Oh, we don't unlock that here? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so we definitely want to go for at least 3 rows. But yeah, I would recommend filling at minimum 2 rows here of Digimon before moving on. Even though we don't have Digivolving yet, just fighting, scanning, get as many as possible. Got another 200. And it's one of the lesser, not lesser, what are they called? In Training 1. So that's great. That's one of the first ones, which means that everything above this thing is just XP based. So we now have this thing's entire evolution tree opened up to us, which makes everything so much easier. You can digivolve after the bridge. Thank you. Yes. In this thing's case, it's Botamon, right? Botamon, yeah. It only turns into Choromon. However, you have things like the one that turns into, I don't remember all the names, but the one that can turn into the baby form of Tentomon, like the little ghost dude, something on M. He can turn into the Tentomon line, but he can also turn into the Pagumon line and the Biyomon line. So that one is super valuable to get because it has 3 options here. So you really want to get the base, like Motimon, thank you. You really want to get the base form of that one because it unlocks so many branches of the Digivolving tree. That's why you want to start with the lower forms, because when you, it sounds so bad, the In Training 1 forms, because they unlock the entire tree. And I think it's easier to scan and find a Digimon with the correct personality, which you can see right here, if you have to de-digivolve them. For Pagumon, for example, we're kind of stuck with whatever Pagumon is, you know? We can't really find anything else in the demo with a different personality. So we are gonna have to be using the conversation system to change Padamon's personality type to get him to de-digivolve, which I think is a somewhat clunky system. I think it's way easier to just catch a Digimon and then find one, scan a Digimon that eventually will have the personality type you're looking for, and then just de-digivolve them to what you want them to be. I think that's way easier. That's how I did it. Like, I filled the field guide in 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think. For the in-training forms, or baby forms, if you want to call them that, here's how you can get all of them, like the first 20 entries in the field guide. This is how you get them the easiest way, okay? Kuramon, you don't have to de-digivolve anything into. You'll just find them in the wild battles to scan. So, nothing to worry about there. Koromon and Kapurimon require friendly personality and are easy. Your only way to get them is from a ToyAgumon. So when you get to the last area, when you're grinding before the stairs, before the roof, farm for a ToyAgumon and either talk to him to change his personality to friendly, or do what I would recommend and farm for a ToyAgumon with friendly personality and de-digivolve him. I think that's the easiest way. Dodomon and Dorimon require reckless personality. And the easiest way to do that is to either find Monodramon through scanning with a reckless nature, or find a Wanyamon in the first area where you grind for scans and find one of them with reckless nature and use that to de-digivolve. I think that's way easier. That would be my recommendation. And when you de-digivolve him, you can then go up to Dorimon from there. Pabumon requires tolerance, and you can find Motimon very easily. So look for a tolerant Motimon, and you can then de-digivolve him into Pabumon very easily. When you have Pabumon, you can then digivolve him into Motimon, Yokomon, and Tanemon, and then from there unlock their entire trees very easily. Punimon you find through scans very easily. It's very nice that they've done that. Botamon you also find through scans in the first area. Poyomon can only be obtained by picking Adamon or Gomamon at the start of the game. I would absolutely recommend picking Pagumon because Pagumon comes with enlightened personality. Then you can just de-digivolve to Tokomon, who also requires Enlightened. And then you de-digivolve again to Poyomon, because Enlightened. And then you can go up to this boy, Bukamon, and then go up to Gomamon and explore his part of the tree. So that's all the starters, all the base baby forms. That's how you get all of them. When I did the champions video, I felt like it took so much more time to try to change personality types. Like, I had 3 Digimon following me when I like ran down through the sewers, and then talked to all of them at the bottom to try and alter them into a different direction on this tree. However, sometimes, most of the time, I think, you only get one option. And say I'm sitting on Enlightened, I want to get over to Opportunistic. I need this icon to pop up in the conversation. But what if I only get the hearts? And that happens 4 times in a row. Because that happened quite a lot to me in that run, which is why it took me 10 hours to do the champions thing. Because after a while, like, I think after 6 or 7 hours, I was like, I'm just going to scan and get as many correct personality types from scanning, and it went so much faster. I highly recommend doing that. If you're going to de-digivolve all of them, just find personality types that match what you're looking for. Oh, there's an item for personality types? I would love that. If you find anything out about that, do tell me, because that sounds incredible. Now we got this thing. Okay, so here's where the branching starts, right? We now have this little dude, the Punimon. And it can branch into 2 different things. This is a very good example of one of the in-training types that actually is why we want the base types, because we see the branching here. When you have the base form, the in-training 1 form, and you have a bunch of branching on top of it, you don't need to worry about personality types, which makes everything so much easier. So much easier. So just focus on getting the in-training 1 types if you want to fill out the field guide. That's my, like, #1 tip. And they are not respawning. How many we got? 1 row. Right. Yeah, we're probably gonna go for 3 rows. Because of one simple thing. I don't have a full list of what these things require to de-digivolve. So I'm just gonna go for 3 rows to get as many different personality types as possible. Isn't it better to just go up the elevator instead of waiting for respawns? As long as you don't go to the bridge, you can come down the elevator. Really? Don't go to the waypoints. Okay. You can sprint by clicking down the left stick. Well, look at that. It worked. Sorry for doubting you. You were correct. Well, that makes this a whole lot easier and faster. So when I got to this area the first time, I was like, man, it takes a long time to get Gazimon. Same with ToyAgumon. They take forever to farm in this area. Well, the last area before the boss fight, before you go up the stairs to fight the second boss, is where you're going to find those very easily. And you're going to be collecting them without any issue whatsoever. Same with both Choromon and Mushroomon. There are plenty abound in that area, so we're not going to bother with them for the moment. We're not even going to stay on the upper floor over the elevator for very long at all, because we can farm those at the very end. Do you know how many Botamon and Punimon you need? Technically only 1 of each. Like I said way earlier in this run, the most important choice in this entire run, if you're gonna finish out the field guide, is that you do not pick Demi-Devimon at the start. That's the most important choice. Because you can easily get that one later, but you can't get Patamon or Gomamon if you don't pick them. So yeah, I think we can probably move on from this area now. I think we have enough. There's a bunch of different personality types in here. Save here. So after 1 hour and 10 minutes, we're done with the first area. Oh, yeah, I guess it is quicker to do to go down where Metal Greymon Blue was. Yeah, that's probably way faster. If you choose to reset by going up the elevator, I guess you could go up the elevator, fight the Choromon, Mushroomon, and then go back down. What's your name?
I don't know. All of a sudden, this rubble came raining down.
All of a sudden, this rubble came falling down.
The last area. I'm assuming you're talking about the area before you go up to the roof. Because that's where I did most of my grind. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's this song. Okay. I'm sure this soundtrack is gonna be a goddamn banger when this game comes out. However, this song has that droning noise. So for optimal grind, you can change the music? What do you mean? I can change the song? Huh? How? Music settings. Where the heck? So, options, there's music settings. Back out of options? Oh. Whoa. What? You've saved my ears. This is huge. The fact that they have this. They have a similar system in Final Fantasy XIV, which is a game I adore, called an orchestrion, where you basically collect music rolls from boss fights and stuff. You can play your favorite songs at your inn or in your own little base, and I love systems like this. So it makes me real happy to see this in this game. If I only knew that before finishing the living decks. You could do what I do. Do the living decks a second time. Thank you so much for showing me that setting, because that's awesome. So we're gonna want this thing to 200 real quick, because this thing is so helpful with the grind here. When you have one of those on the team, it goes super fast. Like, every other song I've heard from this game is awesome. Is so well composed. And that song is like, let me put the fear of a dying computer into this man. Here's my guy, look at him. Ah! So this one, for example, luckily now, Pabumon has the correct personality trait to turn into the earlier form. But here's the thing I've seen a lot of people ask, like, how do you get the earlier forms? Because you need to have met them before. You don't need to have met them before. You need either to have met them or have a matching base personality to the requirement for the earlier one, which is listed right here. So because our Pabumon is enlightened, it can de-digivolve into this guy. Tokomon. And it still matches up with the base form. And this one is, I don't know if it's always enlightened, which makes it like able to just go all the way to this form. I think this one requires a different personality, if I'm not misremembering. I don't think you need enlightenment to de-digivolve Gomamon. Because I don't... Oh, yeah, no, it's right there. It's reckless. Yeah, exactly. So if the starter is a set personality when you unlock them, then I would definitely say go with a Patamon if you're gonna be finishing the field guide. Because both Poyomon and this thing that I, again, forgot the name of, Tokomon, they both require Enlightened. So pick Patamon, and if it is a set personality and you get Enlightened, you can just de-digivolve both of them, and then you unlock the entire tree from there for the Poyomon evolutions, which is great. So Patamon over Gomamon. That's a bummer. We don't have any blue reckless cats. So I'm gonna write that one down because that's good to know for the future. Stay in the first area until you have a blue cat that is reckless. Well, that's nice. We got a matching personality type right here. That's good. Yes. Okay. And we got real lucky. I could go for either a Wanyamon or the Monodramon with Reckless. I don't need to, it doesn't need to specifically be a Monodramon. It could also be a Wanyamon, and they could both go Reckless to go down. And okay, we already have the Ghost Boy, and we got a Tolerant one, which makes this so much easier. Yeah. Slime Boy. So, when you get a Motimon and you de-digivolve him to Pabumon, you unlock the entire branches for both the Palmon line and the Biomon line, which is huge. Which is why you want to start with the in training 1 forms. It's only ToyAgumon that can get us there for this one, if I remember correctly. It's not worth farming ToyAgumon in the first area because it's so rare. You're gonna want to farm that at the last parts.
That one. Watch it,
So now we've reached
sorry,
the boss area.
everyone.
So this is our grind spot now.
I can't break. No.
So we're just gonna save. And we're gonna go back down, and the Mushroomon is back up. And if you want to farm XP, I guess you can just fight him, go back up the stairs, go down the stairs, fight him, and then just repeat that. Just gonna go back up, and then go back down. Mushroomon is the most annoying grind for personality to digivolve. Luckily, we don't have to do that, because we already got, where is it? This guy. So we just go into this one, and then we go up, and then we don't have to de-digivolve a Mushroomon. We're already done. We already have the vegetable. There he is. We skipped out on so much headache by just finding a Motimon with tolerant personality. Are you friendly? Yes. How lucky is that? Second ToyAgumon is the correct personality type. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. So we're already a decent chunk of the way through. We have all the base ones. What's the status on the field guide? Yes, we are completely on rookies now. Perfect. All the in-training ones are done. That's the pain out of the way completely. Perfect. Now this should be smooth sailing. Here we go. Huge addition to the team. Now the farm is gonna be even quicker. Which Digimon should I focus on? Whichever one you think looks the coolest.
That one.
Is my genuine opinion on that question. You can basically supercharge any Digimon in this game. So just find one you really like. Or multiple. You can have 6 of them in your team. 3 of them on the field at the same time.
Do it.
Just find the ones you really like and yeah, use them. I think that's going to be the most enjoyable way to play the game. We have Guimon. We have Guimon, which means we're done with all the Koromon forms. Here we go. Oh, Digimon survive, players rise up. Yeah. How do I feel about the personality mechanic? I think it's the most on the surface, since we don't have access to all the systems yet. I think in the demo, it's the most undercooked portion of the game. But we don't have access to the farms. We don't have access to personality items. So that, in my opinion, might change completely when we have the full access to the game. But currently, I think it feels severely undercooked. I was about to be like, let's get my boy Huckmon, because there's an armor Digivolution there that I really, really like. However, this dude, this is way more important. Yeah. More scans for the scan god. Oh my god, we're almost done. Look at this. We're so close. It's nice of them to give you the other starters just automatically. You don't even have to get them. Yeah, best way to get Huckmon is basically find Tentomon, then turn him back into this thing with a tolerant personality. Turn him into the little ghost dude. And then you turn him into the little pacifier thing with a tolerant personality. You turn him into the little pacifier dude. And when he is the little pacifier dude, you can turn him into Yokomon. And then you get Hawk. Pagumon. So, who is still out here with gaps in their tree? Gomamon, thank you. Yes, we are missing stuff with Gomamon. Only missing one here. I feel like there's gaps somewhere, but I just am not awake enough to see the gaps. Oh, of course, it's the Pabumon side of the tree. Yeah. Yeah, of course. If you equip AoE moves, you can skip the battle animations. Hold up. What are you saying to me? How do I know if it's a... Oh, never mind. It says targets and then a number.
Great. Good.
Oh my...
There.
Okay. That one didn't work, but that's because he resists. Same with this one. Yeah. That's so much faster. Thank you. That's... Whew. That's a huge help. Done with the Bukamon stuff. Going back to Patamon. Tokomon, rather. Yeah, here we have 4. One of which we can't get. So we're just missing 3. 76, 24, 27. So we're just missing the 3 from Tokomon. Yes. Just missing those 3 and then we have all of them. Yeah, I think the key players for my team when this comes out are gonna be Armadillomon, Bearmon, Botamon, Vmon. I'm assuming I said Armadillomon, but I'm tired. Yokomon and Huckmon are probably gonna be like the key players. Wormmon is cool, yeah. For the Vmon. Probably not a bad idea. I do like Imperial Dramon. I think he's very cool. I heard people talking about this thing having like... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I was like, I have a lot of them. Why? Look at that. Look at that little dude. And we can now finish the field guide on my new main dude. The guy. Armadillomon. We did it! We did it, Reddit! 3.5 hours. It's not too bad. I didn't even have to do any personality grinding at all for this, which was very nice. It saves a lot of time. But my brain is just not cooperating. I have been away for 24 hours at this point, so that's probably why. I know I've mentioned it quite a few times at this point, but it feels like I'm existing in like a fog at this point. So I'm like, I don't know where I am anymore. I don't drink, but I assume this is what it feels like. Yeah. I think this about covers it, right? I think we've got everything that we need. 3 hours and 53 minutes, give or take. I'm gonna call it right there, I think. And then get back on it tomorrow and keep checking out the demo and see what more we can get out of it. Hopefully, if you come back tomorrow to watch, I'm gonna be completely re-energized and just feel very more collected and present. So I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all for coming out. There were a lot of you here today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next time. What is like required viewing for Digimon outside of Adventure? And should I rewatch Tamers? Because Adventure is really like firmly embedded in my brain. Like I remember so much of that show. What else do I need to watch to understand where Digimon is at this point? It's like, which one is the closest to Attack on Titan? Because that's where I'm at. in anime preference. Which one? If any Digimon show is Attack on Titan, which one? Which one is it? And why is it Digimon Survive? I guess.